your girl, Vanessa J, and welcome to my very first segment of Cocktails on the Couch with your girl, Vanessa J. So as you see, we got our cocktails here, and we're sitting on the couch, okay? So let's have a toast first before I introduce my guest. Toast to our first segment of Cocktails on the Couch with your girl, Vanessa J. First segment. Good. Okay. Our guest today is a woman of God, a wife, a mother, a grandma, a state investigator, an entrepreneur, a first-time author, and a domestic violence survivor. Let me introduce to you Miss Latosha Denise.
Hey, y'all.
So, Latosha, we're going to jump right into it. So, as we know, last month was Domestic Violence Month, right?
Yes.
And it was also your second annual domestic violence event,
Yes.
entitled From Pain to Purpose, Removing the Mask, and a Survival Celebration.
Yes.
That's a very captivating title, From Pain to Purpose. Can you tell us a little bit about that and how you came up with that title?
Absolutely. So there are, it is kind of broken down into words with different meanings, but it's all surrounded by domestic violence, trauma, being a victim, and being abused. So from pain to purpose, a portion of my life I was in pain when I was dealing with domestic violence abuse. But that I had to go through that to get to my purpose of where I am today, or what God wanted me to be. Removing the mask means that there's so many individuals walking around, Vanessa J, that is literally having this mask on, but under that mask, they are angry, they are sad, they are hurting. And so with Survivor Celebration, everyone that was at my event on Patricia's Place event on October 27th, we were all survivors of domestic violence. So you put all those together, From Pain to Purpose, Removing the Mask, and Survivor Celebration is how we all came together to have this event on October 27th.
Okay, all right. And you spoke about women being angry and hurt, you know. Looking at you, I don't see you as a victim of domestic violence. I do personally see you as a survivor. You know, you may still have that pain here. It's very internal, but your exterior says otherwise. You look more assertive, you know, like a no-nonsense mentality, you know.
Yes.
So tell us how, if you can go back and reflect on, elaborate a little bit more on the past, what actually happened to you, or where you were a domestic violence victim to becoming a domestic violence survivor?
Well, I'll start off, Vanessa, as I moved from tragedy to triumph, from being a victim to now I have the victory. And the reason why I say that is because for 15 years, 15 long years, I was in an abusive relationship with my first husband. And as a result of that, or the reason why it lasted so long, because the babies kept coming. So I am a mother of 6 beautiful diva queens, and he was my primary breadwinner, although I did have a job. But I also wanted to have that Brady Bunch kind of family. I didn't grow up with my mother and father in a household. I was raised by my very strict Southern grandmother. And so I wanted to keep our little union, our family together. And so this is why I allowed the abuse to last for so long. And so this attitude or this demeanor that I have about myself, I had to grow into Latosha. I had to grow into Latosha Denise to find myself. And it took years to get there. It really took a long time to get there. The external scars, they healed, but the internal remained for years after I left my abuser.
Okay. So I know you mentioned that you stayed because you wanted this Brady Bunch, you know, family or image. But are there other reasons why you stayed? I know, like, some women who speak about domestic violence, you know, being a victim, they stay because they feel that the guy they're with is their security blanket, or they don't have any family, any friends, you know, he's their provider, their protector, and they're scared to move on to the next level. So elaborate more on why you stayed so long. That was, what, 15 years? Why did you stay so long besides the babies? Because sometimes you can pack up your babies and go, or sometimes you can't. You know, so why did you stay so long, Latosha?
Well, everything that you just said, Vanessa, was one of the reasons, a few of the reasons why I stayed. But because I am the type of woman, when I am in a relationship, I'm with that person. But there's other contributing factors. I did love him at one point, and I just felt that he would change. I just felt that we can grow out of the abuse. I felt that after counseling, maybe that would help our marriage.
Did you seek counseling?
One time.
One time
in 15 years.
Did it change after that? You know, did it stop for like a week or a month, or did he just get back right to it? So what happened?
It didn't work. It jumped right back into it, and there's a history there as to why. And other reasons were I was comfortable in my setting. I didn't want to pack up my babies and move. I just felt that it would be unfair because I chose to marry him. They did not. I chose to have children by this man. They did not ask him to be their father. I chose that. And God, of course.
Right.
And I didn't want to be selfish and take them away from their father. So being the primary breadwinner, he was our protector. He had some good values about himself, not a lot, but he had some values, great values about himself as far as being a dad. But he just was abusive. He had a temper and an anger problem.
So was it more physical? Was it verbal abuse? Was it emotional abuse? Was it all three, you know, that occurred?
Those 16 years, Vanessa J, it was a lot of physical abuse. And during the physical abuse, or one of my attacks, a lot of verbal abuse, you know, followed or was intertwined with the physical abuse, yes.
Did the kids witness any of this abuse?
I tried to shield my babies. I prayed when I knew that other person, the rage was coming out of him. I really tried to shield my babies. I worked midnight. So that I wouldn't miss any of my daughter's activities. I did not miss a parent-teacher conference. I was there. They had dinner every night. And so I worked midnight for about 12 years. So a lot of the abuse took place during the daytime when my babies were at school or when he'd get in from work. They're outside playing in the summertime. And so it had got to the point where I could no longer hide behind the pain because my daughter saw the marks. They saw the bruises. And especially my oldest daughter, Amber, she's 29 now, she witnessed most of the abuse.
Really?
Yes.
Wow. Okay. So I'm wondering, like, was it contributing factors like he just come home upset, you like from work, a long day's work, or he just see you like I'm just pissed off at you, or what do you think the contributing factors were? Or he just angry at the world? You know, what was he so angry about?
Well, I think a lot of it was infidelity. A lot of my anger was infidelity. He was the type of man, don't question me.
Oh. Okay.
And so, to be honest, my story started 3 months after we got married in 1992. We got married March 21st, 1992. My first slap and ultimately punched while I was pregnant with my twins came in July of that very same year. Now, the space is because he left March 24th and went into the service for boot camp training. He didn't complete it. He came back in June. I immediately got pregnant with my twins. And the next month, I had to be maybe a good 6 weeks, maybe. So maybe the end of July of that year, the beginning of August, the first attack happened. We were staying at his mother's house, and it could have been frustration. And at that time, I made excuses for him, but now I'm not. But I just felt that It was a generational thing because his father was abusive to his mother.
Oh, wow.
And so it was a generational thing that poured over